Hey beauties, welcome back. It's me, Lydia Marie. If you're new here to the channel, I mainly do beauty content for women over 40, but everybody is welcome here. Today, you guys, we have a new foundation to review. We are reviewing the new Maybelline Super Stay 30 Hours Lumi Matte Foundation. This seems to be a new formulation of the Maybelline Super Stay that was released some years back. It looks like they reformulated it, gave us some new packaging sort of, and made this foundation to be a Lumi Matte Foundation. I don't know what that means. We're going to find out together. I'm trying on two shades that I purchased from Ulta. You can also get these from Amazon, and we did a wear test today. So we're going to see how this foundation holds up, if it is mature skin friendly, if it's dry skin friendly, and is it really giving us a Lumi matte finish? Let's find out what that means. Anyway, if you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button and joining the beauty family. And if you want to see this wear test of the new Maybelline Super Stay Foundation, I hope that you will keep watching. Alright, so I have two shades of this foundation. I got two of the warm undertones. I had one that was a neutral undertone, but I sent it back because it was very neutral. So when they said neutral, they should have said olive, really, because it looked more olive. But I have the shade 312, and then I have the shade 332. Now in the other Super Stay foundation, the original, I wore shade 330 in the summer and 312 in the winter, so I'm hoping that these will be close matches. When I looked at shade 330 in the store, it looked very neutral or lighter for some reason, so I went with 332. So you can just take the cap off. It has a plastic cap like this and a harder plastic bottle, so that's the packaging. It has a pump on it, thank God. So we're gonna swatch these and see which ones look better, but then first I'm gonna give you some details about this foundation. First, it retails for $14.99. It's $11.97 on Amazon, just FYI. If you choose to buy it from there and you can pick your shade, it's $11.97 on Amazon, $14.99 on both Maybelline and Ulta. I don't know if it's at Target yet, don't quote me, not sure, didn't even check. But this is the Maybelline Super Stay Up to 30 Hour Wear Lumi Matte Long Wear Foundation. It's infused with amino acids. It's a breathable coverage with a luminous matte finish. I have no idea what luminous matte is. Either it's luminous or it's matte. Is it Uchi Wally or is it one mic? I don't know, but we're going to find out. This is the Super Stay Lumi Matte Foundation. It delivers long wear, buildable, so it's full coverage, FYI. It's supposed to be sweat resistant, water and transfer proof, last up to 30 hours. It's good for all skin types. It's a vegan formula, suitable for all skin types, even sensitive skin. What I was trying to, and it comes in 24 shades, FYI. What I was trying to find out, and I haven't been able to find out from anybody who has reviewed, is if this is supposed to be self-setting. So I'm going to do one side with the primer. No, this side with the primer, this side without. No color correction because I really want to test the shades. So let's go ahead and swatch these shades and see which one will work best. This is 332. So it has a nice viscosity to it. It's not super thick, so it's a little bit runny, so that's good. That means it will blend out easily. I was a fan of the original Super Stay. I really like that. So let's try 332. Let me swatch it here. Oh, that's actually, hold on now. That's actually good. You can't even see that. Okay, let me do a little bit more. That's 332. Let's do 312. Interesting. I thought 312 was going to be closer. This is 312. That might be a little bit light. That's a little bit light. I think we're going to go with 332. But they both match. What in the heavens? Just to be extra sure, I'm going to do a swatch on my décolleté. So I'm going to take 332, what's left on my hand, And I'm going to swatch that right here. And that still disappears. So I guess 332 is the winner chicken dinner. Okay, let me try 312 just in case. When all else fails and you can test it on your décolletage, do it. Because if it matches here, it's going to match everywhere. So they're both warm, you can tell. But I really think that 312, once it's blended, I wonder if it oxidizes though, and if I should go with the lighter shade. Or should we mix it? I don't want to mix it because I want to give it a true review. I wonder if this oxidizes and it's going to get reddish or too warm, and I should go with 312 because 312 disappeared too. Oh man, what a dilemma. I'm going to put primer on this side and then we're going to dive in. Maybelline also released, like I said, some smoothing, gripping primer situations, like a jelly primer. Sounds like this, but I'm not going to buy a new primer. I have primers that I like, but I am going to use the e.l.f. gripping primer on my left side. And like I said, when I'm doing this foundation review, I'm not doing any color correcting on my face. I will under my eye because I'm not putting foundation there. So I put the e.l.f. gripping primer on this side. And I'm going to go in with 332. We're going to test that today. And if it doesn't look great, I'll go back in with 312. So I have a pump and a half. And like I said, it has a nice viscosity, meaning how thin or thick it is. And this is rather thin because it's running. And I'm just going to tap it on my brush. And we're just going to go in. It has a slight smell to it, nothing too crazy. It's not like a fruity smell or anything, or flowery. It blends in really nicely though. And it's really blending in. Wow. That shade looks really good. I can't look at my phone. I have to look in my mirror. So I'm going to be looking over here. That shade looks really nice. Can y'all see that? And it gave decent coverage. It's drying down fairly quickly, which does tell me it's full coverage. But the shade looks good. And this is like a pump on one side of my face. It blended in nicely. It doesn't feel too heavy or tacky for it to be full coverage. The real test is going to be over here where I have my hyperpigmentation. Now that that primer has set, let's test it out over here. When I got the neutral shade, I think I got like, they had an in-between shade. So I got 312 and 322 originally. 322 was described as a neutral, but it looked like my complexion. But when I got it, I could see it like it was popping. It was a true neutral type of olive. So let's just try it over here. Oh yeah, that's nice coverage. Alright, I got it swiped in. It does have a kind of like a plasticky smell. I can't describe it. It fades down though. It's not overwhelming, but that's pretty nice coverage right there. How does that shade look though? I think it looks kind of good. Let's just blend it on back. And it covered up my hyperpigmentation really nice. Like, wow. It's looking really nice and natural while still giving, you know what this reminds me of? I knew it. I knew it was something that it reminded me of. The One Size. That One Size foundation that just released where it's full coverage but it doesn't look like it. That's what this reminds me of. And the original Superstay was also full coverage, but it was not as thin as this one, which I said the viscosity on this one is nice and thin. And that just basically means how thick or thin is something. I'm just taking the rest on my forehead. That's on the brush on my forehead. That's what that reminds me of. The One Size. I knew it because the way it swiped on and it just covered everything. I could probably do another pump and a half. I just want to see how, another half a pump. I just want to see how much coverage it gets, because if it's full coverage, I want to wear it in a full coverage way. So I took literally like a little bit of under a half a pump more, and I'm just going to tap it in and just lay it down just a little bit more and really just go over my face just to really get that full coverage vibe. Okay, y'all, look. I mean, that really does cover really well. What do we think? It's looking pretty flawless to me. You can see here, it doesn't look like it's settling or anything into, let me just puff my cheeks to get into the smile lines. Okay, all right, okay. I'm gonna put my under eye concealer on and do the rest of my face off camera, and then I'm gonna go into my living room where it's nice bright natural light before I do any powder or anything, to let you see how the color looks and let me see how the color actually looks in natural light. I have my window open here, but my living room is bright, so it's very natural light in there. When I'm done with my under eye concealer, I'm going to take the camera into the living room and we can check the shade for real in sunlight and natural light. Okay, beauties, I am in front of the window. Look, this is my concealer, but look at the shade. How do we think the shade looks? I think it looks very skin-like. I think that shade matches perfect. And again, that shade 332, or did I say 322? 332, I think it is. It's 332. Which is described as a medium warm. But how do we think this looks? Should I go outside? It's cold outside, but we can go outside. Before I finish my face for real, I am trying to figure out where is the luminosity. I don't see any luminosity. I don't see anything that's luminous about this foundation. That's the one thing I noticed. I'm not going to set my whole face with powder. I did set my under eye to concealer with the Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade 230, so it's a little bit bright. I am going to do a blush and a bronzer, but I don't see anything that is luminous about this foundation at all. Like, maybe that picks up during the rest of the day. I don't know. We're going to do a wear test because I do have other videos to shoot. So I'm going to wear this while I do those videos and kind of go throughout my day. When I finish my face, we'll check the time and then we'll come back and do a wear test. Okay, beauty, so my face is done and this is what we are looking like. It is nothing luminous about this foundation. The luminosity is coming from the bronzer that I use from e.l.f. and the blush. That's the luminosity. There's nothing luminous so far about this foundation. So let's start the wear test. It's noon. It's actually noon. So we're going to start the wear test. Like I said, I do have other work to do. I'm going to be wearing this face while I film another video. So when you see it, don't say nothing. I'm just saying. And we're going to see how this foundation looks as the day goes along. Full transparency. Like I said, I did not set my face with powder because I want to see how the foundation wears on its own. Again, I didn't see anything that says this was self-setting, so I did spray my face down with the rest of the e.l.f. Dewy Grip Primer setting spray. It's not a full hold-on spray, so we're going to see how this wears. It's noon. Let's start the wear test. I will come back and give you guys my thoughts. Okay, beauty, so let's wrap up this quick wear test from the Maybelline. This is the Super Stay Lumi Matte Foundation. It is currently 4:32. So it's been about 4.5 hours since I've had this foundation on. My initial thoughts are, for me, this is good. It's not amazing, but it's good. It still looks really good on the side where I did not apply primer. It looks a little bit more natural. On the side where I applied the grippy primer, you can see that it's sticking to my pores right here. It's settled into my pores. My hyperpigmentation is peeking through. So number one, for me, I would wear a different primer with this. If you have oily to combo skin, I think this is going to be a great foundation for you. If you have dry skin or even normal to dry, I would do a hydrating primer versus a gripping primer for this. For me as well, I would definitely set this with a powder because I do see a little bit of separation right here around my smile lines. That happens. Makeup tends to settle right here in my file. I'm okay with that, but I would control that with a powder. So the next time I wear this, I will be setting my face as usual with my finishing powder, taking around a little shine right here. I still don't see the luminosity with this. I see this as a more natural matte finish of a foundation. When I think of radiance, I feel like it gives you a little glow. This has zero glow, zero radiance to it, and that's okay. It doesn't look dry and cakey. It just looks like a natural matte finish. So just say that, because I don't see the luminosity. You feel me? But that doesn't make it bad. Also, one thing that I'm going to do the next time I wear this is wear the lighter shade of 312 versus 322, because on me this oxidized a little bit, meaning it got darker, and I can tell that because there's a line of demarcation right here where my ear right here is a little lighter, or my neck area, versus here. So now that I know it oxidizes, I'm going to add this to my February makeup tray and wear 312 and see how that performs better. Overall though, it's not a bad foundation at all. I do look forward to wearing it a little bit more and wearing it how I would normally wear my makeup, meaning I would set it, meaning I would do my dewy primer underneath or my hydrating primers and really wear it with a full face just to see. So far though, it's really not bad for a $15 foundation. I feel like the claim of luminosity is throwing me off because, again, this just looks like a nice natural matte finish, and that's okay. A nice natural matte finish gives you a little bit more of a glam look, and this is full coverage. So I would do my normal color correcting, my powder, etc., and see how it wears. So if you want to check this out, like I said, you can get it from Ulta or Amazon. My Ulta link is in the description box below. If you made it this far in the video, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you leave your comment and your thoughts on my wear test and first review and impressions of this new Maybelline Superstay Lumi Matte Foundation. I will be back here for the next video very, very soon. Until then, I'll see you later. Bye.